Hi everybody, my name is Tom Stewart. Welcome to Line of the Week number 218, Motif Development Using Melodic Rhythms. It's time again to take a rhythm, add notes to it, and then improvise with it over tunes. This form of improvisation is called motif development. This week's line is an example of a motif and 6 development tools: melodic variation, rhythmic variation, fragmentation, rhythmic displacement, extension, and over-the-bar line phrasing. You can use these tools in your own way in your own music. Melodic variation refers to changing the notes to fit the harmony while retaining the rhythm. Rhythmic variation means changing the rhythm while retaining the notes. Rhythmic displacement means starting on a different beat. Fragmentation means an identifiable part of a motif. Extension refers to adding material before and or after the motif. And I'll explain over-the-bar line phrasing shortly when we get to the example. Before I get to the line of the week, and so we're all on the same page, here are the chords to the progression. The chords are D minor 7 flat 5, F minor 7, G flat diminished, G minor 7, C minor 7, F7, B flat major 7. Here are the chord scales I'm using for this week's line. The chord scales are important because they contain both the chord tones and the agreeable tensions. I use the notes from this chord sound to form shapes on the fretboard. I go from shape to shape, often resolving tension by half step at or near the point of chord change. You can use any vocabulary you prefer. You could use chord tones, guide tones, chord scales, or a combination. The chord scales are F melodic minor, E flat major, G flat whole half diminished, B flat pentatonic, B flat major, G flat melodic minor, and F pentatonic. Here's the melodic rhythm I'm using this week. You can try it in your own music regardless of style. Here's the line of the week with Guitar Pro backing to make sure I'm getting the notes and the rhythm accurate. Let's look specifically at the line of the week. In measure 1, there's the original motif, meaning the melodic rhythm with notes that fit the harmony. In measure 2, there's a melodic variation of the original motif. In measure 3, there's another melodic variation of the original motif. The rhythm is also slightly varied. Measure 4 contains a fragment of the original motif. Measure 5 contains a fragment of the original motif, rhythmically displaced by a quarter note rest. Measures 6 and 7 contain an extension of the fragment in measure 5. At the point of chord change from measure 6 to 7, there's an example of over-the-bar line phrasing. Here's the definition of over-the-bar line phrasing I got from Hal Crook's book, How to Improvise. Over-the-bar line phrasing occurs when a melodic phrase ends with a sustained note at least one full beat or more before a chord change, meaning the melody cadences before the harmony changes. The sustained note is then held over the bar line at least a half beat, and usually longer, while the chord changes. In the line of the week, over-the-bar line phrasing happens when the D flat in measure 6 resolves to note C in measure 7. Measure 8 contains a rhythmic and melodic variation of the original motif to end the line. Let me shift gears and ask you to head over to my website, stewartjazz.com, where you will find an instructional video which deals with the fingerstyle shapes I use. All my major, pentatonic, melodic minor, and diminished shapes are included in the video and associated PDF files. The files contain regular notation, tab, left-hand fingering, right-hand fingering, hammer-ons, and pull-offs. The video and files are $10, and your purchase helps to support the channel. So that's all for this week. Take the melodic rhythm and see what you can do with it in your own music. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.